I believe there are some St. Louis clubs that have baggy jeans policies. Have any of you guys run into issues in any St. Louis clubs? I don't know.
Well, I can speak for myself. I personally have not run into any issues, but one of the things that we've been talking about, just as a university, when we had that town hall meeting two nights ago, was about the possibility of doing what we can in our community here. I know the Mother's Thing happened in Chicago, but there is a possibility that we could go to St. Louis bars and kind of question them about their own baggy jean policies and hopefully try and get them to change. And not so much target a certain group of people with their dress code, but make it more so available, kind of race neutral. So that's definitely one thing we've been talking about. Obviously that wouldn't be in the agreement because it has nothing to do with mothers, but just as a community and the Washington community, we've been thinking about that and talking about it.
I don't know if any of you would like to comment, or did you want to say something?
Oh, I mean, I wanted to say that, speaking personally, I have had issues with baggy jean policies across the nation. I, fortunately have been different places during the summers for internships, and I'm not from St. Louis. I live in St. Louis. I go to school in St. Louis now. I've moved multiple times across the country, and I do think that there are, again, this is an issue that needs to be raised and needs to be discussed. That personally, I have had experiences across the country with baggy jean policies, and that I don't think that we need to get all tied up in what a lot of this has been, focus on the individual issue, and really understand that this is a national issue, and this is something that needs to be talked about.
You do keep mentioning that your main motivation with this has been, I suppose, dealing with maybe the racial issue. Do you think that this agreement or the settlement, what type of effect will the settlement have on the racial issue, sort of national?
Nationally, I think it's very important to understand that now, us up here, the Washington University community, and as well as mothers, can now all stand together and really look at this issue and talk to the nation that address that this is an issue. I think going forward, it's very important to realize that we have this protest coming up in Chicago, where we're really going to open up the issue of race, open up the issue of discrimination, and it's very powerful having mothers standing there by our side to tell our message as well as we speak our message going forward. I think it's also very important to focus on the fundraising aspect of this event, where we're trying to raise money that will go towards a cause that will address issues, social issues in the United States, discrimination issues, and racial issues. Kind of putting some money and support behind it that we can focus looking forward that this is something that we can all up here feel comfortable is being addressed and has the resources that it needs to be addressed.
Is the apology a public apology? Do they have to issue something more largely, or who are they apologizing to exactly?
There are, I guess, two components of the apology. They will be doing a private apology, and they will also have a public apology to the senior class that should be coming soon.
And do you know the manner and how they're going to convey that?
I do not.
Something that was brought up Monday night was that, I know Northwestern's behind you guys, and all these other universities are listening, and all the students here are listening, because it affects not only 6 of you, but the entire class, this whole community. Personally, for you guys to be a part of something that ended up, it's obviously unfortunate that this happened, but this is something that will have a greater impact than maybe some of the things that you guys have been doing, on campus. This is like the culmination of what your 4 years here almost. Does anyone want to say anything about that on a personal level?
Hi, it's a great question. For me, when I was at the town hall and I thanked everyone, I was just so happy that I could play some role. I mean, if you were to ask me if this would ever happen in terms of mobilization as a freshman, I mean, in my mind, I didn't even this type of response as possible. And to have friends from Northwestern tell how active and how how much they want to be part of this process, and it's just been unbelievable. And I think that what we've done, especially hopefully with the protests, is we've provided an avenue for students to really pursue what they're passionate about. And this is not just constrained to race. There's other social issues that are on the table that we need to talk about and really bring to the forefront. And because we believe that everyone should have the right to live where they live, and we want to move towards a place where we're more accommodating of other people's values and treating each other equally. So we feel like through the settlement and what we've done, that we've provided everyone with a wonderful opportunity to really take leadership positions and really explore what they're passionate about.
I guess personally, I'd like to speak. I've been contacted, by students at this university, students at other universities. I get Facebook requests, Facebook messages, emails, phone calls from all across the nation. And I think, what's been powerful about this situation is that not only have, the 7 of us up here been able to have our voices heard, but through the 7 of us, I think that people all across the nation have really been able to get their voice out there and really have their opinions and the issues that kind of have been burning in their souls be addressed.
I'd also like to speak to the professor.
Also, another goal that we had, there's people, not just black people, but minorities all over the nation that have to go through issues, and there's that attitude of, this happens all the time, let's just move on, forget about it. And I personally want people that are here to realize that, you don't just have to accept it. You can do something about it. You don't have to just accept and get pushed under the rug when you feel you've been injustice.
What was your name?
Blake.
I'd just like to speak about, I guess, how proud I am of not just the 6 gentlemen who are joining me here today, but also of our entire university community. I think that it would have been easy for us to get swept away in this, to start making demands that were unreasonable or that did not fit in with our original goals. Especially for the 6 gentlemen that were directly affected, I think it would have been potentially reasonable for them to be demanding money, for the damage that this has caused them in their personal lives. But I think that we all kept our minds at the right place, and I think that these 6 have provided a wonderful example for the rest of our university and for the rest of our country to follow, that things like this should be stood up against for the sake of standing up against an injustice, and not because, not because of personal gain, but because of the greater good of our society. So I'd like to thank the 6 for that.
And I guess just on another personal level, I'd like to thank Fernando for all the help that he's done. We've all been busy, and sleepless nights, missing, or we're students, so we have full-time jobs to be a student, but then we have a second job on top of us. And for us, all 6 directly involved, we have another a motivator behind us, but also for Fernando, he's really pushed through everything the entire time, for us and for this issue. And I just want to put it out there how much work Fernando has put into this and how much we all appreciate it.
One last thing, there is like a racial profiling series that the Center for Ethics and Human Values is doing this semester. I don't know if that influenced you at all to sort of make a bigger issue of this, or if that...
To be honest, it didn't. It wasn't really in the back of our minds. When we first started, again, it was just about letting people know what happened to us, letting us know that this type of thing still does happen, and hopefully spreading awareness about it. I mean, it is kind of convenient. It segues very nicely into the fact that there is a series about discrimination on this campus, but in terms of it being one of our motivations for making this a story, it wasn't.
So can you guys stick around for a few minutes afterwards so we can get names and hometowns and ages and that kind of thing?
I would just like to thank all of you for coming out, covering this. Fernando, if you have any final words?
No, just thank you, and we're available for individual comments and questions at this point. Thank you.